We gon' bounce to this for y'all. All the way, come on. Now in the world full of pain, hard struggle and stress, the Buddha say it's all suffering, I'm still here blessed.
Well, Kingston 11, I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, and 11 is like the zip code. Bob Marley is from Trenchtown, which is Kingston 12, and where I'm from is Kingston 11. It's like, for instance, some parts of Oakland could be in 94606, the zip code. Kingston 11 is the area in Kingston that I come from, my zip code. And I've always wanted to create a Jamaican restaurant where we can do upscale Jamaican food, because I felt like that was one thing that was missing in our community. Is, you know, like Caribbean food, but not necessarily like a takeout, but something really upscale, but not necessarily fine dining, casual. And Adrian and I used to do some Sunday dinners with a bunch of friends, and we had like a potluck thing going on, and that's when he and I had the opportunity to kind of mesh some food, you know, together. And since then we decided, okay, well, let's try and see if we can open a restaurant, again, with a mentality to build a community around food. And about a year and a half, a friend of mine owns this restaurant, Gorilla. His wife and I used to work together at Levi Strauss. So I approached him about us doing a pop-up restaurant, and that allowed us to do the restaurant with minimum amount of cost. We don't own the space. When we're not here, we don't own anything. So with a minimum amount of fee, we can come in and really test our concept. You know, so we allowed people to vote on what we thought was good, and either to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And so far, we've been doing it for a year and a half, so I think we're doing well. And we're going to continue to keep building the vibe. You know? Nice. I work for Levi Strauss, and with that I would travel to different countries, mainly for production, like China, India, Pakistan, different places. And it was always interesting to me how, you know, people come together with food, and also about different street foods. You know, what people would eat in the street, and how they would socialize. Yeah. Like, for instance, because Hong Kong, the housing situation there is very tight. The space is small. So most people, when they socialize outside. So a lot of times the families, they will have dinner at restaurants. So, you know, to show you how big like food is, you know, in terms of the community. And, you know, and so with this restaurant, what I wanted to do is kind of create a sense of like world foods. Even though we're doing Jamaican cuisine, I pull from a lot of different cultures, and the mentality is like street food. We really want to, you know, explore like kind of like your vibe in terms of how you want to make people in Oakland experience different cultures. That's the same mentality that we wanted to have here, but also in a sense of community. If you look, you know, how people kind of get along here, it's more a sense of community, very you know, multicultural. And a lot of the biggest compliments we get is when people tell us this is like home cooking. But that's what we want. We want people to feel like they're home, you know. Yeah, ultimately I feel like Oakland is the place where we want to be instead of Berkeley. Yeah. And you know, we're very fortunate that we have people from Oakland come up here. Yeah. And the community here in Berkeley is responding very positively to us. So it's a good first step. But I think ultimately we'd love to find a place in Oakland. That doesn't necessarily mean that we'll close this spot. Maybe we'll continue doing this and then do something additionally in Oakland as well. Yeah. The whole pop-up concept is great. You know, the economy overall is pretty soft. So a lot of people who have businesses have rents to pay and fixed costs. So it's not a good situation when they have to close their doors, even if their business is good, and not really generating the income. So, and if you look around, even Oakland, a lot of restaurants, good concept, good space, a lot of money invested, and they're closed. So for an owner, like for instance Gorilla Cafe or any other cafe that's open, hours of service. For instance, these guys are open between 7 and 5 for breakfast and lunch, and so they're closed at night. So they have an opportunity where they can bring somebody else in, like us, as a pop-up, and during a time when they're not really even operating. So from that perspective, it's a great opportunity for both sides. For me, I don't own any inventory of equipment, and I'm not paying permanent rent. So I just come in, use the space, and I'm gone after that particular activity. And so it's a good win-win for both of us because I pay him a certain amount of money each time I use it. In addition to that, there are people who typically wouldn't come to the space this time of night or here. Some people who've never been to Gorilla, now they're being exposed to his business, so it's good marketing for him as well.
Awesome.
So it's a good, fit both sides. Yeah. So basically, a lot of them are from Jamaica. Like for instance, the jerk chicken. What I try to do is follow the authentic process of making jerk chicken. A lot of people think jerk chicken is like just a hot spice and hot sauce. But jerk chicken basically is a way of cooking. It's slow roasted. So what I do for the jerk chicken, I do a 48-hour marinade. I do a dry rub on Wednesday, and on Thursday I do a marinade, and then Friday I cook it. So it's 48 hours of seasoning. So when you taste it, and I cook it very low for like maybe 275 degrees for about an hour, and then I smoke it for another hour in the smoker. So when even the breast, when you eat it, is very tender off the bone, and that's the whole process. It's basically trying to be as authentic as possible to how people cook jerk chicken and Jamaican food in Jamaica. So I learned how to cook from my grandmother in Jamaica. So some of the recipes is just basically home cooking, and some of them I learned from here and just keep perfecting over the years. Anyone who wants to do a pop-up restaurant or basically anything in life, just go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid of failing because no one has ever succeeded the first time out of the box. When Edison made the light bulb, Ford making the car, there's a lot of failure. And so as long as everyone is confident that they can get up off their knees and move on and fight another day, you can succeed. If you have an idea, follow your dreams and be passionate about it and just stick to it.